Hey guys, we're having a chat today with Denis Fitzgerald. Obviously everyone knows Denis for his huge mark on the Leeds club and the football club in his 30-year reign as a CEO. He was the emperor of Mannah for a very long time, and we just sit down having a chat about the old days. He's also a life member. In 1977, was made a life member. He also had a very interesting playing career. He played from 1970 to 1977, which was pretty successful in its own right. So we're going to sit down and have a chat with Denis. And hope you enjoy. So you finished in 1977, which was a drawn grand final?
Correct, yep.
What was that like, playing in a drawn grand final?
It was amazing, more particularly the first game, which was drawn 9-all against St George, and Mick Cronin had a couple of kicks at goal that if he'd got it, we would have been the premiers, which would have been terrific because I retired at the end of that year, and especially after losing the grand final against Manly in 76, and interesting on that grand final, that's the last time in all the NRL and New South Wales Rugby League that the losing team in the grand final has scored more tries than the winning team. So,
oh, really?
Manly won that grand final, 76, 13-10. We, Parramatta, scored 2 tries to 1 because it was when you could kick goals. There was no differentials, but when you could kick goal from the scrum penalty. So often that fell into the hands of the referee of the day about who he was awarding penalties to and how close they were to the point. So Graham Eadie, who was a friend of mine, played in the World Cup and things together. He kicked 5 goals there, and Phil Lowe, the great English international, scored their try. Yeah. So.
Well, years later, mate, refs are still having a say in the grand final.
There's no doubt they still do, and as recent as last year, you're right there. But so 77, and I had got a bit crook again, and I had to have some tests. They thought of associated with the celiac disease, but I had an unusual heartbeat. But it was nothing to worry about. It was just unusual. But I had to go in the hospital, Royal Prince Alfred, for some testing. And then Terry Fernley, I think quite incorrectly, didn't pick me in the first 13 for that, even though I played for Australia that year. But his thoughts were, well, you'd been out for a while and things. So I've got a good memory on those things. But so. The big thing was that none of us have ever done, because it was drawn after 80 minutes, and then you had 10 minutes each way after that. So it was a 100-minute game for those guys that stayed on, who were there for the whole game. But it was at the end of that game, and whilst I came on in the second half and then played extra time. Obviously, it was the flattest effect I've ever had in a rugby league game. About what do we do now? It's like kissing your sister. We've played 100 minutes, and there were 65,000 people there, but there's no result, and there'd never been a draw, so no one knew what to do when we're on the field. And eventually we had a replay the following week.